The skies of Ayla shimmered with torn banners. Smoke rose from once proud towers, the scent of burnt stone and shattered dreams clinging to the air like a curse. For weeks, the people of Ayla had sent pleas across the void, begging the stars for help. Their enemy, the Varkan Dominion, was relentless, a war machine of clawed beasts and fire that consumed entire worlds. Ayla's warriors had fought bravely, but their ships had been shattered, their defenses broken. The High Council convened in the last standing hall of glass and crystal, their robes stained with ash. "We have cried out to the stars," Elder Maleth said, her voice trembling. "And someone has answered. But it is not who we expected." "Not the Seraphim fleet?" asked Counselor Renai. "Not the Eldery Confederacy?" Maleth shook her head. "No. The transmission came from a world we dismissed long ago. A death world. A place so hostile that we once declared it uninhabitable." Gasps rippled through the chamber. "You cannot mean—" "Yes," Maleth said grimly. "Earth. Arrival. When the humans came, they did not arrive in shining fleets of silver. Their ships were blocky, brutal things. Scarred metal plates welded over older scars, with engines that growled like beasts. The people of Ayla gathered at the landing fields outside the broken capital, wary and desperate. The first human vessel descended, its belly glowing with heat, crushing the glass streets beneath its bulk. The ramp hissed open. Out marched figures in thick, armored exosuits, faces hidden behind visors, movements sharp, efficient. At their head strode a man with dark skin and a scar splitting his jawline. He removed his helmet, revealing weary eyes that had seen too many wars. "I'm Commander Darius Holt, United Terran Defense Forces," he said, his voice carrying like a hammer on steel. "You asked for aid. You're getting us." A murmur swept through the Aylans. These were not the elegant Star Knights of legend, nor the radiant guardians they had prayed for. These were scarred soldiers from a cursed world. Elder Maleth approached cautiously. "We expected others. You are humans, are you not? Deathworlders." Darius's lips twisted in a humorless smile. "That's what they call us, yeah. Earth. Third rock from a very mean sun." His gaze hardened. "But we didn't come for reputation. We came because you asked." The first clash. The Varkan struck sooner than expected. Great living warships descended like predators, vomiting fire across the fields. The Aylans scattered in terror, but the humans did not run. "Hold the line," Darius barked. The Terrans moved like a pack of wolves. Automated turrets unfolded from their transports, spitting plasma that tore into the Varkan skirmishers. Humans in exosuits charged forward with weapons roaring. One woman laughed as she vaulted onto a Varkan beast twice her size, driving a blade into its skull. The Aylans watched in stunned silence. Where their soldiers had faltered, the humans thrived in chaos. Where others would break, the humans pressed harder, teeth bared, eyes blazing. Within minutes, the first wave of Varkan lay dead or retreating. Elder Maleth whispered, almost in disbelief. "They fight as though the void itself forged them." Lessons of Earth. After the battle, the humans set up camp with brutal efficiency. Instead of palaces or command halls, they built bunkers from rubble and dragged wounded civilians inside, turning ruined temples into field hospitals. Aylan healers, delicate and precise, watched in awe as humans worked with crude pragmatism, searing wounds shut, stitching with rough hands, forcing life where others would surrender. One young Aylan warrior, Lyriel, approached a human soldier cleaning blood from his armor. "You laugh when you fight," she said, baffled. "Even when death is certain." The soldier, a woman named Ruiz, chuckled. That's how we spit in fear's face. You let fear rule you, you're already dead. But why? Lyriel pressed. Why risk everything for a people not your own? Ruiz shrugged, her smile fading into something harder. Because we know what it's like to scream for help and hear nothing back. Earth was alone a long time. We swore we wouldn't let others be. The word spread among the Aelans like wildfire. These Deathworlders were not saviors of myth. They were survivors. And survival was a lesson Aela needed. The siege. The Varkan did not give up. Days turned to weeks, and their assaults grew fiercer. Each night, the sky lit with fire as living ships clashed with Terran steel. The humans fought like demons. They did not hide behind walls. They built traps, laid ambushes, and fought tooth and nail in the streets. Where the Varkun expected resistance to crumble, they found madness. Commander Darius led from the front, scarred armor glinting in the firelight. He carried an old Terran rifle, patched with tape, and used it like an extension of his arm. But even humans could bleed. Every day their numbers thinned, and every day Darius stood taller, unwilling to yield. One night, Elder Maleth confronted him. You cannot keep this up. You will all die for us. Darius met her gaze without flinching. Lady, death's an old friend of ours. What matters is what we do before we shake his hand. The turning point. The final blow came when the Varkan brought their warbeast, a towering many-limbed horror that strode through fire like a god of war. Aela's defenses shattered under its advance. Panic spread. The Aelans cried out that all was lost. But then the Terrans moved. Bring the Kraken! Darius roared. From the depths of their battered ships, the humans unleashed a weapon cobbled together from scrap and fury, a titanic mech stitched from salvaged steel and half-dead engines. It was ugly, loud, and barely held together. But when it rose to meet the warbeast, the humans roared like it was a holy thing. The battle shook the city. Steel fists met claws, plasma burned chitin, and human voices screamed defiance into the night. At last, with a final thunderous charge, the mech collapsed, dragging the Varkun beast down with it, impaling the monster on jagged ruins. Both machines lay in ruins. But the warbeast was dead. The humans staggered to their feet, bloodied and laughing, as the Varkan fleet broke and fled. Aela was saved. Aftermath. When the smoke cleared, the Aelans gathered in the ruined square. They looked at the battered Terrans, these strange, scarred Deathworlders who had come when no one else did. Elder Maleth spoke, her voice carrying through the ruins. We asked for aid from the stars. We prayed for saviors. And none came. She turned to the humans, bowing deeply. But you came. Deathworlders. Survivors. Warriors. And in you, we found something greater than saviors. Darius rubbed the scar on his jaw, uncomfortable with irreverence. We're not saints, he muttered. We just don't like bullies. But Lyriel stepped forward, raising her voice so all could hear. You are not saints. You are not gods. You are human. And that is more than enough. The cry spread through the crowd, echoed by thousands. Human. 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 The Terrans shifted awkwardly, unused to praise, but a fire lit in their eyes nonetheless. Epilogue. Weeks later, as Earth's battered fleet prepared to depart, Elder Maleth met Darius one last time. You changed us, she said quietly. We thought strength was in power, in shining fleets and perfect warriors. But you showed us that true strength lies in defiance. In standing when all else falls.